Ficus triangularis variegata, and I think it's really beautiful. As you can see here, the leaves are kind of like heart-shaped, which I think is so nice, and also it's variegated, which I think is really beautiful. And that just means that it has the white and the different shades of green as well, so all of the leaves have like multiple different colors. And then right next to that I have my fiddle-leaf fig. So the fiddle-leaf fig, definitely one of my favorites. I love it so much. I just recently repotted it into a new pot and it's doing so much better now. The way you can tell if your fiddle-leaf is having a good time or not is if the new growth that is coming on top, so the new leaves, if they are smaller than the previous leaves, it's not really happy. So you can see that we have some big leaves right here, and these ones are kind of smaller. I know they're not fully grown, but anyway, and the pot was just way too small. It was outgrowing its pot so fast, so I just switched it and now it's much happier, so I'm really excited about that. And then right next to that I have my little banana plant. So you can see that the long winter has kind of taken its toll on this one, and it's also shooting out new babies. So this is like the mother stem, and you can see this one is an entirely new baby plant, and around here we have another new baby plant. So it's doing pretty good and it's pretty happy, so I'm excited about that. And then behind that is my string of hearts. I'm gonna move it forward. So here is my string of heart. It only has one string or one strand as of right now, which is really sad. It had 4 when I got it. It kind of died at the top, but there was still a lot of the ones down on the vine that were alive, so I just propagated them. I'll show you that in a second. I just planted them like 2 days ago, so I'll show you that, and hopefully I can get a fuller plant once those start establishing and growing. And then next to those 3 plants I have my little seed growing station. As of right now I'm gonna plant these out, but I mean here in Trondheim it's just too cold still. Bok choy, some spinach. My spinach is not doing great, it's not happy. I have some chili over there. One of them is doing okay, the other one died. And then over here I have some edamame beans. They're growing quite tall, so that's really cool. And then next to that I have some sugar snap peas, which are also growing really well. That's these ones right here. And then next to that I have some kale, which are those curly ones right there, and then some cavallonero right here, and they're doing okay. 3 of them are fine and one of them is kind of not so happy, and none of them are really standing up. They're like lying around. Hopefully I can just plant them a little bit further down in the ground and they'll be able to support themselves. Moving on, in the back here I have my pilea plant, which I love. So this one I've had for a while, and as you can see down at the bottom here, it keeps pushing out all of these new babies. So in here I probably have like 5 or 6 new plants that I could take out. I have 3 of them around that came from this one. You could just produce and produce and produce with the pilea plant. So in front of that I have my Scindapsus, and this one looks really sad, and it's kind of been in the hospital, the plant hospital, for a while. I ordered some plants from Oslo and they were coming in the mail, but the box that they were in had just been smashed during transit, so they were shattered. There were 4 of them, 2 of them died. The other 2 looked like they were gonna die, but I've been like adamant at keeping them alive. So this one is pushing out a little bit of new growth right now, so I'm hopeful that they'll survive. Next to that I have this cool succulent plant, and it's some sort of an aloe. It's not an aloe vera, obviously. Love the pattern on it, and it has like a line on the outer side and then all of these dots. I think it's really pretty. And then next to that I have my favorite plant of all time, which is the Ficus elastica tineke, which is a rubber fig or a rubber plant, but it is the variegated one. And these leaves are just so beautiful. I love them. They look like a watercolor painting. I'm obsessed with this plant. I love it so much, and it keeps pushing out new growth, which I'm really happy about. This leaf just came out a few days ago. It's looking really good, and it's pushing out more growth right here. You can see this leaf is about to come out. I have this pothos. I have 2 pothoses, and this one is not the prettiest one, but it's getting really long, so I'm probably gonna cut it and propagate it and make more and make it a little bit fuller at the top here. I've done that a couple of times, but it could still be a lot fuller at the top, so I'm gonna do that. Pothos, it grows like crazy, so it's really easy to just chop it off and it'll continue growing anyway. This is a Monstera Addisonii, I'm pretty sure, and this was the other one that I got in the mail that was like dead. I'll put in a picture because it was looking like I never expected this one to survive, but it's doing really good. It's pushing out a lot of new growth, so I'm very happy about that. I'm just keeping it in the window for now. Next to that I have my bell pepper or red pepper plants. I was cooking dinner one day. There were a lot of seeds in the bell pepper, obviously, and I just decided to put some of them on some soil and keep them moist and see what happened, and it's growing really well actually. Next to that I have my 4 rubber tree leaves, and we kind of took these from a huge tree that we found in the park, and I've been keeping them in water for a while, and they were starting to get these little white root like things, but they weren't really progressing, so I decided to just put them in some soil, see what happened. And now they're just here, and if I'm lucky they will continue to grow and become their own rubber tree plants, and I'm really excited to see if they'll actually survive. And then next to that I also have the offcuts or the cuttings from String of Hearts that I was showing you earlier, and I have 4 little strands. They all gave me some roots, so I just planted them in some soil, and I'm hoping that they will continue to grow and be happy. And then in the corner here I have one of the offshoots from the Pilea plant, so one of the Pilea babies. And that's this window. This is kind of like the not pretty but save the plants kind of window. And then around here I have my Monstera. This one I took from my work. I took these 2 leaves down here like an offcut, and then I just put in some water, waited for it to root, and then I planted it, and it's doing pretty well. And then around here this is kind of like hidden behind this other plant and the TV, but this is my turmeric plant. I had some fresh turmeric root that I didn't end up using in some cooking, and I just decided to plant it and see what happened because it was starting to shoot out some little new shoots. So I planted it in soil, and then I kind of neglected it. It doesn't look great, but I'm deciding to try to keep it alive, and we'll see if I get some turmeric from it. And then in front of here I have this snake plant looking kind of thing. I think the leaves on this is really beautiful. This is super easy. You don't really have to take care of it at all pretty much, and it still is thriving and happy. Then above that I have another Schinapsis plant, because when the other one was dying I just bought a new one, and this one is super full and super nice and growing really well. It's my Calathea medallion, and I have a love-hate relationship with this. It kind of grows all over the place and isn't really the prettiest plant overall, but I think the leaves are just so beautiful. And this one was not happy during winter. It probably lost at least half of its leaves, but now it is pushing out some new growth. You can see a new leaf here, and there's another new leaf right here, so I'm giving it another chance. Then around here I have my second pothos plant, which I just put on this plant stand or just this stool, and it's growing a lot. It's like taking over this stool, which is kind of cool. Pothos, again, they're super easy, and they're so easy to propagate if you want more plants as well, so definitely a good plant to have around. My peace lily plant, this is the big one. I have a small one as well, but this one is also super easy. They can tolerate pretty much anything. Minimum light, of course they all need some light, but it's really easy. It's growing really well, and these will tell you so well if they need water or not, because the leaves will really start drooping. So super easy plant to have around. And then moving up here is kind of like the rest of my plants. First off, I just have this cactus. Not sure what kind of cactus this is, but it's kind of cool. And then these 2 I've had forever. I have no idea what these are, but I'll try to figure it out. And this one as well. This one I've neglected for so long, but it still keeps on living. Here we have another snake plant with kind of different patterned leaves. Another one of the Pilea little babies that is not so little anymore, and also my favorite pot with this face on it. I think this pot is so cute. In the corner right here I have this one that I can't remember the name of. Kind of cool, again with the pretty leaves. Then I have my other rubber tree, and this one is not happy. The leaves are kind of like drying out some places. The other one is kind of bendy, and it hasn't pushed out new growth in forever. I mean, this one has been looking like that for such a long time. And behind that I have my other smaller peace lily plant. In here I have another Calathea. I went away for 2.5 weeks, and this one was not happy about it, so it's all curled up, but I'm nurturing it and trying to get it back to health. It looked really pretty before I left. Anyway, and I have this one, not really sure what this one is called, but it's kind of like the hair of this face. And right below that I have this one. I think the leaves are so beautiful. This one was kind of mangled and not so pretty when I bought it at the store. As you can see, the leaves have some like marks on it and stuff, and I've been trying to clean them off, but it won't come off, so I don't know what happened to this one, but it's been pushing out so much new growth. You can see all of this with more light green on them are new growth, so these are new, and it's coming out with another shoot here. All of these 3 are new as well. Next to that, I have my 2 aloe vera plants. Don't love these. They're really leggy and blinky and not pretty, so I'm just keeping them down here. Then above that is another one of the plants that suffered while it was gone. This one is completely dead, but it was really pretty while it lived. I need to throw that out though. Then finally, I have these 2 plants. This is another Pilea baby, and then this one is one that I got as like an offshoot from somebody at work. Somebody brought in a lot of like offcuts and stuff from their flowers at home, and I got this one. It was so tiny and dying because I just left it at my desk at work and sort of forgot about it, but then I decided to bring it home and nurture it back to health, and it's growing really well.